Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome and welcome back. If you've been here before, today I am really happy to introduce you to Kelly Brown. She is the Director of Sales, Western United States for Riverside Luxury Cruises. And she is here today to share all about the wonderfully beautiful Riverside Luxury Cruises ships. So without any further ado, Kelly, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Emma. Thanks everybody for watching today. Really excited to share all about Riverside Luxury Cruises. You may not yet have heard about us. We're still getting our name out there. We are the newest river cruise company around in Europe, and we started up in March of 2023. We've been sailing now 2 full seasons with all three of our ships and are really excited about where Riverside is heading and all the fun things in store. So I'm really excited to share this about you because a lot of excitement is growing. So as Emma said, my name is Kelly. I reside in Colorado. I am the Director of Sales for the Western US, and I've been with Riverside since the start. In January 2023 is when I started, and it's been an incredible company to work for. I actually just got back from a cruise on the Riverside Mozart, where I sailed along the Danube from Passau, Germany to Budapest, Hungary. Was floored by the incredible fall foliage I didn't expect to see, and a lot of other surprises on board. So you can kind of expect something special for every season, every different cruise you're on with us. So, Riverside is really standing out and really redefining the concept of luxury in four main ways. And these four ways where Riverside stands above the rest is with our cuisine. We have the best dining on the rivers. We've been voted this by Cruise Critic 2 years in a row, and we've only been sailing for 2 years. Even Forbes magazine named us the best river cruise line for foodies. For our service, we have a butler for every single suite for that really personalized service. Fewer guests on board, higher crew to guest ratio. So for every two guests, there is a crew member. This is higher than others, and our feedback has been absolutely phenomenal. Always about the incredible staff and how professional and kind and personal they really are. Our space is a third point. We've got the largest average suite size on the rivers with beautifully decorated suites that I'm going to share with you. And then overall flexibility. And this is big. We really believe that flexibility means having a choice, and that means something different. I mean, excuse me, luxury means having a choice, and that means something different to every traveler. So, whether that's from your pillow selection or your mini fridge selection in your suite to the onboard experience, the dining or spa treatments to the off-board experience with your shore excursions, there's really something for everybody there. So, those are the four main areas to kind of keep in mind. And even though we're new, we've already been making waves, pun intended, in the in the travel world. Just a few to share here. I mentioned the Cruise Critic, which is huge, both travel industry related, but also Reader's Choice related, like Travel and Leisure, for example. Readers voted us for one of the top 10 best river cruises in 2024, and more to come. So we've been really honored to receive this recognition so early in our company's age. So I mentioned we've got three ships. We have pretty much one ship sailing per river on Europe's most historic and scenic rivers here, the Danube, the Rhine, the Rhone in France. And here's a little visual here of where that is so you can get an idea. So the Rhone, think Avignon to Lyon in France, in Provence. On the Rhine, we've got all the way from Amsterdam in the Netherlands to Basel, Switzerland, or you can even go another direction and cut over to the Moselle River, down those historic castle fairy tale hills and areas, and then the beautiful Danube from through Germany, through Austria and Hungary. And not only the upper Danube, which those areas are considered, but the lower Danube as well, through Croatia, through Serbia, through Romania, and the Iron Gates. So we're going to a lot of familiar destinations that you may know and maybe have visited, like Amsterdam, like Vienna, but also some other destinations kind of off the map, kind of hidden gems, like Bratislava, Cologne is still a big city, but in Dusseldorf, Germany, but you're seeing these places from a totally different perspective when you're on the river, and then discovering even more hidden gems. So why Riverside? I mentioned a couple of those points already, our service, our cuisine, our space, but diving into that a little bit more, we've got larger spaces for everybody to enjoy. And with fewer guests on board, that's how we're doing so. That butler and personal concierge service really allows us to cater to every individual guest's needs. We have king size beds in every single suite. We do call all of our rooms suites, just as a note, and we can separate the beds. We even have connecting room options. We have 24-hour room service available, gourmet cuisine prepared on demand. Nothing is frozen or reheated. We're spending twice the amount per guest on every sailing to source fresh local ingredients. More on dining to come, but we also are really unique in having a pop-up bar and big green egg grills on our Vista deck. Really, really unique for that al fresco dining, as weather permits, of course, on a sunny day for a lunch option or maybe a lovely sunset dinner. We even have a specialty dining room, which you do not see typically on river cruise ships. Flexibility wise, we've got shorter cruises. Most of the lines have 7 nights and above. We've got that, but we also have 3, 4, 5, and 6 nights. So you can really customize your experience. Maybe you want to dip your toes in because you want to go to Europe and discover your family heritage and go to Italy and try a cruise. There's so many ways to think about this. And kind of add it into your existing trip or add it again as just kind of an intro to river cruising. Because river cruising, too, it's really blowing up right now. I mean, it is the style of travel to try out for all ages, and I'll get more on that, but and it's just a really unique and intimate way of travel as well. We've also got a unique pricing structure to help cater to different guest needs. So we've got 4 levels, but the biggest differences are if you would like the drinks included or not, and if you'd like the shore excursions for every single port, morning and afternoon, included or not. I've got another slide on that. I'm going to touch on that, but just keeping that in mind to really, again, cater to what you as an individual guest would like. But regardless of which package you book, the gratuities on land and on board, the taxes, port charges, service fees, complimentary Wi-Fi, complimentary use of the laundry as well, and transfers day of embarkation and disembarkation are included.
Those are a big positive. A lot of people really like those options to have the
Yes,
transfers included.
flexibility
Yes,
for all.
absolutely.
And for the laundry, of course, you can always send it out with your butler. Like you'd see a price list like you'd see in any five-star hotel.
Right.
But again, the option, you want to do your own laundry, for example, or send it out.
Exactly. Your delicates.
So if you're wondering where we're coming from, since we are new, the our parent company is called Seaside Collection, and they're a German family-owned company that's been around for over 50 years. They've been in the hospitality and service industry for that long, and they've got a portfolio of hotels, 12, most in Germany, and these are more business related hotels, but a couple in the Canary Islands that are your resorts and boutique properties, and then 2 in the Maldives.
Mm.
So they've been well established. They've even opened a couple of restaurants. They're no stranger to this. They have a real passion for detail, for service, for hospitality and quality. And then this fleet of river cruise ships went for sale. They thought luxury was really missing on the rivers and they wanted to bring it to European rivers. So, thus, Riverside Luxury Cruises was born from Seaside Collection, and it's a brother sister duo running the operations. All right, diving into our fleet. So, our 3 ships. 2 of them are sister ships. They're nearly identical. That's the Ravel on the Rhone River and the Debussy on the Rhine River. And then we've got the Mozart. She's a really special ship because she's twice the width of the average river cruise ship. So there's only one of her. And here she is in front of Parliament in Budapest, which I had the pleasure of just seeing only a few days ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. And this ship, because she's twice the width, has some extra special features. Um, She was built several years ago, but had a total rebuild done in 2016, and has just maintained a stunning appearance, both inside and outside. So I'm going to go ahead and share a video so you can get an idea of the Riverside Mozart. And oh, I meant to mention, because of her size, she can only sail on the Danube. That gave you
Beautiful.
a kind of quick ship tour, if you will. I want to dive in first to show you the suites and then the public spaces of the ship, because I really want to highlight a couple of features on these suites because, like I mentioned, they are the largest on average. So this is starting with our lead-in suite, the Harmony Suite, all on deck one here. Now I want to point out, take a look, again, king size bed, you've got a whole desk area, mini fridge, etc. Take a look at those windows. Now, these are fixed windows. They do not open, but they let in so much light. On a lot of other cruises, ocean and river, in the lead-in suite, you might be getting a tiny little basement window up there. So this is really big to note. And also starting at 219 square feet isn't too bad. Really just adequate, space in the bathroom for your things. Easy to work showers, amazing shower pressure and temperature. The Mozart even has Toto toilets, the bidets, the Japanese bidet toilets, a feature only on the Mozart. So that's a look at the Harmony Suite. Up on deck two on the Mozart, you'll find all the other suites, and they all have a French balcony. So this Riverside Suite is the exact same as the Harmony, just with a French balcony there, so you can let in some air. The penthouse suite, this is great if you want a little extra space. Maybe you've got a third passenger traveling. That is a true pull-out sofa bed there. And this bathroom has dual vanity sinks and a separate bathtub and shower. Then we've got the
Nice.
top suite where I am only virtually, unfortunately not in person, but this is the Mozart suite. I mean, it's a stunning, stunning suite. That
Gorgeous.
is a real marble fireplace. We have two of these available, and you see the little peekaboo door there. It can connect to a Riverside suite to create a two-bedroom owner suite. So just to give you an idea, here's the visuals. The bedroom has a door that closes, the bed facing the windows. And then look at that bathroom. Again, a separate tub and shower, dual vanity sinks. And this looks like a boutique hotel bathroom, not a river cruise ship
No,
bathroom.
I was just going to say it doesn't look anything like a cruise bathroom at all.
No, no, it's absolutely stunning. Plus, not pictured here, but I can attest there is a huge walk-in closet, big enough you can hold your arms out and twirl around. It's absolutely huge. So, really beautiful suites there. Now I want to touch base on the Debussy and the Ravel because these are sister ships, so they're identical and they're your standard river cruise ship size. So, they are. Whoops, there we go. Well, let's just dive into the video and then we'll chat some more.
Okay.
All right, what I was gonna say there is the big thing to note with these, the Ravel and the Debussy ships, they are your average size, but the maximum capacity on these ships is 110 guests. Other ships of the same size fit 130 to 190. So when
Hmm.
again, we're talking about the size of the suites and how it makes a difference and why it makes a difference and the public spaces. That's what you really can see in terms of, having some more room to breathe there.
Hmm.
And the Mozart, even though she's twice the width, 162 guests is the maximum on a ship that's twice the width. So something really big to point out. So here we're going to start again with the lead-in suites. So all of these suites are on decks 2 and 3. They all have this panoramic French balcony. You push a button and that window comes down. You can lean out, drink your coffee, drink your tea. In the summer, to keep those bugs out, there's a screen you push so that you
Nice.
can still have the window open and enjoy that without anything flying in there. But every single suite has these. So Melody Suite is on deck 2, Symphony would be on deck 3. And again, you can just see that beautiful king size bed. Um, and the Seahorse Suite, this Seahorse and Riverside Suite, these again, deck 2, deck 3, they are your next category up, and they're the same layout. Just the Riverside Suite's just a touch bigger, but I want to point out, of course, the beautiful um, view from the bed with the bed facing the
Stunning.
window.
Yes. Fall,
It's
obviously.
Yes, absolutely. So this is a great room, especially, for a couple traveling together. You've got a lot of space here in this closet. That's a true walk-in closet there.
Hmm.
Great area, mini fridge again, and then the bathroom. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know where that bathroom picture is, but dual vanity sinks in the Seahorse and Riverside bathroom. Again, just tons of drawer space as well, which is really nice for when you're, of course, traveling with somebody else.
Hmm.
The top suite takes the name of the suite. So it's the Ravel suite or the Debussy suite. Again, the bedroom is a true bedroom with a door that closes, beautiful furnishings there. This bathroom does not have a bathtub, but it has a huge shower. So
Massive shower.
massive. And then in this suite, there's a half bath right across the hallway. So lots of drawer space again, huge closet. I did a video where I twirled in the closet to prove it. It because sometimes it's hard to tell in photos, but
Yeah.
it's a huge space. Nice living area, and then this can connect with a Riverside suite through that door again to create a two-bedroom option. Fireplace. This one's not marble, but it's still really beautiful. And those are the sweets. So I really want to make sure I have time to touch on our culinary since that's such a big piece. I mentioned we're spending twice the amount per guest on every sailing, sourcing fresh local ingredients. Our chefs are truly exceptional and really creative. We can also cater to pretty much any dietary preference, request, requirement. The big thing with us too is we've got multiple dining options, no set dining times, no set dining tables. So you eat when you want with whomever you want. We've got 24-hour room service available as well. And all of the meals have a really regional flair so that you're tasting the region that you're sailing through. And some of the dishes, of course, get really creative. I mean, we're really saying it's Michelin star quality dining in not only the taste and quality, but in the presentation. Yet we also always will have a classic menu to go off of. But you just really ask and you shall receive. The staff really wants to make sure you're getting exactly what you want.
Right.
So we've got multiple options here. Waterside is our main breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We've got in that lower right-hand corner an image of the buffet area. I want to point out that even though it's a buffet, we still have made-to-order omelets, pastas, and everything else that's made on board. We hand make our pastas, breads, and pastries and everything. And this is an area that's set back behind the main dining area. So you're not seeing people lining up or clamoring around with utensils. It's really tucked away. And you can ask for anything you want. But if you don't want to go to the buffet, you can always just order from your table anytime you want.
Okay.
Choices galore. And then at dinner, it's a set menu with a different red and white wine featured every night. So, an incredible food there. The atelier is a great option that's open from about 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, throughout the day, you'll see kind of another little buffet type area set up with beautiful treats. Morning, more breakfast items. Afternoon, different pastries, pretzels, charcuterie. But here you can also get gelato. You can also get your specialty lattes. You could order a club sandwich or even do a made-to-order omelet or bagel and lox here. So opportunities galore, and I promise you will not go hungry on these cruises. On the Mozart, there's even a whole extra restaurant. for lunch, tucked away at the back of the ship. And I have heard time and time again that the best burger and fries anybody's ever had.
Wow.
The
Okay.
vintage room. What, Emma?
I said that's amazing.
Yes, yes. And I've got pictures, not in this presentation, but I can share those. Vintage room, this is our specialty dining room. So on the Ravel and the Debussy, this image here, it seats 10 guests. On the Mozart seats 12. So this is a special dining experience that you can sign up for. It is an additional cost, something you could use onboard ship credit for. And this is a 7 course meal with wine pairing. So it's really highlighting the wines, this experience. So you can put in a request, and then once on board, the staff will determine, depending on the number of guests and depending on the itinerary, which night to host this. More culinary, I mentioned those big green egg grills on our top Vista deck. The beautiful Vista deck, we've really tried to make this a beautiful, comfortable area with shaded options, comfy chairs, bean bags, lounge chairs, tables. Our pop-up bar, again, we have this on every ship, so as long as the weather's holding out for us, we'll have that open. So if you're up there enjoying the views and weather, then someone will make sure you've got a drink in hand. We also have indoor pools on our
Wow.
ships for even further relaxation. That image on the right, that's the pool and jacuzzi on the Mozart because the Mozart again is bigger. She can have an even bigger pool and jacuzzi. These pools, they're not necessarily heated like super warm, but they're not cold. And they all have a button you can push for current for resistant swimming.
All
And
right.
boy, do they work. If you want to, if you're a swimmer and you want to keep up on your fitness, you can do so. Also special on the Mozart, there are his and hers changing rooms that each have a dry sauna and steam shower. So for
Wow.
those spa lovers, you'd love the Mozart. Spa treatment rooms on all of our ships. Then the beautiful public areas here, just to give you an idea, lots of light, lots of jewel tones, lots of attention to detail here. It's just really stunning and it's luxurious without being over the top. The Connoisseur Club, this is really unique to have. It is an actual cigar lounge. You can bring your own or buy some. This is on the Mozart only, but also a
Mhm.
really just swanky place to, sit back and relax, enjoy a drink. We have fitness centers on our ships as well with techno gym equipment and bikes for guests to use, complimentary use, regular bikes and e-bikes.
Okay.
Shore excursions, again, we're offering a choice in every single port. So if you want to do morning and afternoon, as long as there's not overlapping there, then you can do that. And we're offering full day trips, half day trips, maybe, an hour and a half to 3 hour. So there's always a variety. If you want to make that decision and you want to spend some time on your own in a port or spend more time on the ship. Again, offering a lot of options here. And the shore excursions, they're they are small, 15 to 20 guests, absolute maximum, always accompanied by a Riverside staff member and a selection between something culinary, that could be a truffle farm visit, something or a winery tasting. Something active could be a more moderate walking tour or a more vigorous hike or kayaking tour. Something cultural could be an outdoor museum visit or an indoor museum visit or kind of a sightseeing visit of sorts. So lots of options there. And, I mentioned earlier we've got a pricing structure that allows you to include the choice of excursions in every port if you want to see and do it all, or not. So maybe you kind of just want to do your own thing, do 1 or 2 excursions. Then maybe you want to leave the excursions off and see what happens once you're on board. Because once you're on board, there's always the flexibility to add or change your excursions. And maybe you're going to meet some new friends and want to go and do a tour with them. The winery tour on Saturday, after all. So there's an option there. And the other difference is with the drinks. A lot of travelers these days are either, not drinking alcohol anymore, it's more sober travelers, or they just don't really want to consume what they're not, or pay for what they're not consuming. With our drinks, if that's the premium all-inclusive package, that means everything from juices to sodas to cocktails, mocktails, wine, beer, etc. If you choose to not include that, the full board option includes only your water, coffee, drinks, and tea. Again, though, if you decide to get a full board option and you want a glass of wine at night here and there, then it would just be charged a la carte. So it's really giving you the options. Now, most guests want the premium all-inclusive, including excursions. That's that highlighted green box. That's the whole shebang, the whole all-inclusive product. Yet, if you have a situation where, maybe you just don't want all those things, you have options. And Emma can and I can help, help work that out. Do you have
Yeah. And
anything you wanted to add on that, Emma?
yeah, I really like this. I think that Riverside is one of the few people that have this option. It's really nice to go away and be all inclusive and not have to be worried about being nickel and dimed when you go somewhere. But I do have clients who don't drink alcohol, and so when they
Mhm.
choose an all-inclusive product, they feel like they're overpaying because they don't drink all of the alcohol. So this is really a good opportunity to customize your own vacation to be as all inclusive as you want it to be, right? And I
Yeah.
think I think this is a really good strategy that I think for those people who don't drink or do want to go off and do their own thing, this is really excellent. You're not overpaying for what you don't want.
Exactly. And we're not hiding the price differences either. It
No.
comes to about 80 euro per person per day for
Okay.
drinks. So that's another way to think of it. Are you going to consume that much?
Right.
And just if you're really getting to the nitty gritty. And then the shore excursions are about 110 euro per person per day. Um, so that's where that price difference comes from when you see with or without.
Hmm.
And why you will see a la carte pricing for shore excursions if you're poking around on our website. That's why we list them, so you
Okay.
can see those.
But
So it
I
is a
think that's
savings
very
if you want.
reasonable.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
On our itineraries that are 7 nights or longer, we're featuring an exclusive signature event. Um, this one is at a winery in France, Domaine de Panery. That was a winemaker dinner and winery visit. I just had one on my cruise that I was just on, where we went to the Belvedere Palace in Vienna, all to
Wow.
ourselves. It was private. There were about 60 of us who attended. Not only did we get a private tour of the Gustav Klimt gallery, and we saw the famous The Kiss painting without anyone else around. Oh my God, it
That's
was
awesome.
incredible. Then we got a private concert with an incredible orchestra and opera singers. So extremely exclusive signature events. It's
Fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah.
Some ideas for river cruising: tulip season along the Rhine, wine cruises along the Rhone, highlights of the Danube. These are just a few ideas to kind of get in your mind. Christmas market cruises, those are really big. And now is actually a great time to start booking for next year because
Yeah.
we're new. We still have space. Also on tulip cruises for next year. So and scattered throughout. But that space is not going to last long. So I would highly recommend you jump on that. And I even just heard that we still have a few pockets of space for Christmas market cruises this year if you
Wow.
want to hop on next month. We last minute bookings are pretty big right now.
Cool.
Solo travelers. We love solo travelers. They're not an afterthought. They're one of our first thoughts, from the pricing to the intention to the pampering that you get. You get all of the pluses that go along with river cruising in general, but um, you know, but the same, you get your own butler service. You get your whole king size bed to yourself. You've got that safety and accountability feature, the flexibility, and everything. And we're waiving the solo supplement and lead-in suites. That's the Harmony Suite on the Mozart, Melody Suite on Ravel and Debussy. So that is absolutely huge to consider. And make sure you book that sooner than later to guarantee that space. So that's an offer we've got. We are also happy to extend an offer for those of you that book within 2 weeks of this show: 100 euro per person onboard ship credit to use towards spa or vintage room. If you book a premium all-inclusive package, that's 5 or more nights. The third person in the room select suites has 40% savings. And then otherwise, our pricing doesn't change until January 15th. So now's really the time to lock in for best pricing for this year or next year's cruises.
Awesome.
Follow along on our website, our website, our Facebook page, our Instagram page if you want to see more content. And I'm going to wrap it up there. So, Emma, let me know what questions I can answer.
Well, I think that was extremely informative, and I can't be, just maybe food allergies, something like that. You cater
Yep.
towards all of those.
Absolutely. Yep. Any preferences you have with dining, even if it's, I hate peanuts or whatever, we want to know. So make sure we get that in your reservation notes.
Hmm.
We want to know too if you're celebrating something special. We want to know if you don't drink alcohol. We want to know all these things so that we can really customize. I mean, the staff is there. This is their job. This is what they love to do. They want to make sure that you are happy and feel special and taken care of. So, um, please let us know all those in advance. We can absolutely work with that. And we do take especially dietary requirements and preferences very, very seriously.
Okay, excellent to know. Well, this was supremely informative and absolutely gorgeous ships. So hopefully, our clients will get some value out of these slides and presentations, and hopefully they will consider Riverside for their first or next river cruise.
I sure hope so. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you, Emma,
You're
for
welcome,
everything.
Kelly.
Thanks for your time and hope to see you on board.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.